Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne. It's the Champions League again. This time it's Group B, and we are in the lower semi-final between Karaboudjan and Vadzimir. Karaboudjan was an upset in the first round against Vineria, and then a pretty tough loss against Sparta, especially in the third game. He had control but lost it, and then Sparta just took over in the third one. Vadzimir's games or matches I haven't really looked closely at. I think I remember parts of this one. Definitely haven't seen their game versus 94 Rest, though. So today, well, who's the favorite? Frankly, don't ask me. Both are perennially rated in the 500, 600s. Vadzimir cracked the 700 elo barrier. At least it looks like he did. Let's quickly check. So where is Tutasia? Over here. Yeah. So top rating 703, and while we are at it, there is no Karaboudjan to be found here, because even though he almost cracked the master level a few times in his career, in fact never did, but is a very experienced German international, played a lot of tournaments for Germany's team. Not sure if he was part of the European Championship team back in 2020, if I remember correctly. But again, I'm not sure. If he were, he should have been listed on the Masters list nonetheless. But so I think he isn't. Looks like he's online. And how about Vadzimir? Is online as well and already waiting. So looks like a regular game with a slow speed, no tournament, and must have been started a second ago. And here we go. Yeah, that's wrong. So let's just get rid of it. Karaboudjan, yellow meeples, starting player in the first one. So slight advantage for them. Vadzimir prefers to take the road into the city instead of the two-pointer on the right side. Also, quadruple city has been discarded. And therefore, the starting player advantage more or less is gone. Nicely supporting the road with this monastery, also controlling the city as well, limiting it even now. And from the get-go, it looks a tad better for yellow here. Let's see if this holds true in the mid-game as well. I might have just gone for this here, creating a possible obstruction or kill on two of yellow's meeples. Instead, blue gave yellow the chance to do the same against them. Yeah, don't think this was the best idea here. Vadzimir creates pressure on the left side against yellow city. likely going for an obstruction over here. And if this works out to a block in the end, he might be very happy. And the -2 points of this mini battle aren't that big of a deal. It's definitely better than something like this here and an obstruction up top, for example. So Karaboudjan quite likely just taking this one. If he'd like to squeeze everything he can get out of this position, could have used the road end there, but why? You will be able to use curves somewhere else. This orientation gives back this road and also would create a larger field if completed. I would consider him to having the upper hand in this position, and therefore I might have refrained from adding this road end to the top. On the other hand, this here on the right side is way more flexible than adding a second road piece there. So this orientation definitely has merits in terms of monastery stacking on the right. And so it's definitely okay. Vadzimir closing his city, of course, might have thought whether to meeple the field, but I don't see a problem just waiting there. And of course, the other option was to save the monastery like this. Wait, rather the city? Yeah, well then, saving the city would have been my choice. But looks like he gets a second chance and will do this now. Karaboudjan, on the other hand, just took the field as it's at 6, likely growing, at least on the left side, possibly also on the right side as well. Yeah, so this dagger was needed by Vadzimir in 3 places, and he just chose the top one. Again, I might have gone for this just because it's saving a meeple, and this meeple will quite likely score more than you would have lost if this city were to be tied. So the difference up top here is 4 points for yellow and just 10 for blue, so 6 points. And if yellow really wants to invest 2 Doritos to unite the city, well, just let them. It would be at least 1 extra move in comparison to creating their own city there. So at least some lost value, and therefore just taking this one back would have definitely been my choice for the first dagger, that is, of course. So blue with an obstruction, move, try, whatever, at the bottom. And this here, this ladder formation, completely annoying for yellow. If it weren't for the 2 remaining splitters, which could be used over here. So third right-handed dagger, all gone. No problem for blue city. And not yet a problem for yellow's city complex. Score is tied. Crucial tiles, well, right now only the rows, 2 still remaining, would definitely be a boon for yellow. But blue would also need to think long and hard whether to close this hole here and take this 9-point field. I don't think they should. In the end, they could just take the field over here for 6 points and not close the opponent's feature. Or do something else. I mean, it's a rose, one of the most versatile pieces in the game. There is, and I don't think I've ever seen a situation where a rose really was the worst tile you could have drawn. Usually there's at least some road end or some city part where you could add it to. Yeah, and so here we go. One splitter was drawn, but the second one is still remaining, and if Karaboudjan doesn't get one, of course one of the 5 remaining Doritos would work as well. Like this, adding a cap would all be nice, and as it looks now, might even be necessary in the end. No one cared about this possible 4-point road because no one drew a straight since this crossroad was placed there. This is trying to slightly restrict yellow's road, but actually the 6-point loop is definitely one option for yellow, and it could work out. For now, he for sure will close their city and also add a second farmer there. Else blue will on their next move, and then you just might lose the 12-point field in the end. Due to no left-handed daggers in the deck, blue had to place the monastery here to save their city. Yellow then rest the Dorito city, also created an option to kill this one, didn't work out, as blue drew the extender and added this Dorito just before yellow was able to kill this once and for all. And even if there were anything happen over here, at least there would be one dagger still remaining for blue in this case, as it's the other orientation. I'm not a huge fan of this curve, but considering this square here is threatened anyway, trying to continue the road up top is okay, of course. I mean, there are still 3 or were 3 road ends left. One is gone now, so only a rose and a horse remaining to close this road. Vadzimir doesn't go for any obstruction here, limiting this road to a starting tile. Instead, he does what he has to do, tries to prevent this city from being closed easily, and if there's still one splitter remaining, you have to do anything, something over here. And so he did. 2 triple cities remaining, and even if Karaboudjan hits one, he would need 2 caps as well, and then Vadzimir might just block one of these squares. Meanwhile, yellow was able to liberate the monastery, also took a city in the process. This is too antsy. There are still a lot of caps out there to close this immediately for 6-point gain plus a 6-point field. If you place the extender here with these tiles still in the deck, well, it's not unlikely that your opponent will attack you immediately and prevent your city from being closed. Nice farmer by Vadzimir, taking the 6-point field, also attacking, well, for now, yellow's field here, and creating the 4-point road, which any one of them should take, even if it's just a 1-point move for Karaboudjan. He tries to block this, doesn't work, and therefore this here is just a minus 1-point move, as Blue's monastery is next to it. Yeah, he could connect to the main field, but actually he should wait. Because Blue is very likely to reconnect, and then this field is just tied. And this here helps Blue's monastery way too much. So Blue is very likely to liberate the monastery and also get another 4 points by closing this small city there, which would equal the game even without the farming connection. And once this connection is accomplished, Blue would have a 9-point lead and a meeple majority. So Blue might even be able to win this game with a lost field here. But with these caps, it'll grow and should be worth more than the 18 points it's now. So question for yellow now is, do you just take the 4 points? Or do you attack the field? And with only 1 meeple and a lot of tiles still to go, some of them even quick point tiles, just taking the quick points here definitely seems to be the right choice. So there is no attack possible over here. There would be some outside chances to successfully attack at the bottom. And yellow might just need to kill these squares here. The problem, or one problem rather, is you'd create this option, but only for the one and only left curve. So is it really a problem? I don't think so. With any city piece from here, you would limit both squares to the same tile, and it's a 50-50. So I think he has to go for this move. Okay, that's interesting, to say the least. I don't think this one is a threat. Blue would need either both caps with road or both caps with field. And well, or of course, a triple city tile and a cap. Either way, once blue places anything over here, you could still try to attack them. Whereas this here is, if connected, not just a 12, it's a 15-point move. So it's scoring way more for blue than this city ever will, and should have been the priority. So this is that now, as yellow just got the last starting tile. Is this the right orientation? I think it's the wrong one. All city tiles for blue can at least defend the square to a 50-50. And with the other orientation, yellow would have 3 pieces to kill the square. With this one, it's only 2, both triple city tiles, and now there's only 1 remaining. So even though you don't add the city cap on blue's field, like this here, of course, it's totally annoying. Adding this to them, giving them the chance for 7 points, even this gets blocked. I think the upside of protecting your main field would be worth the other orientation of this piece. Yeah. Also, do you really need to defend to a 50-50, the one and only remaining straight? If there is exactly 1 tile out of 6 out there to kill this option, what's the chance of your opponent drawing this? Or you getting a connection piece? There are still 2 left. Now there's only 1. Without calculating this, I'd say leaving this empty would have been okay. The problem, though, the city caps left, especially the vanilla and the twin caps, both would give yellow a chance to score 4 points and restrict the field connection. And therefore, it might be indeed correct to self-restrict. Yellow adds 1 point to the city at the bottom. I'm not sure this 1 point moves the needle, and therefore would have considered this one as well. Because now there would be an option for blue to restrict this square here to 1 city cap, either this way or that way. Although, yeah, this is better as yellow already needs the rows for their road, which wouldn't be possible if yellow had added the cap there. Ooh. Blue adds another farmer. going for the ninja. This square now is dead. And if blue's farmer is successful, he'd gain 24 points and would win the game for Vadzimir. So after this move, it'll be a 50-50 straight up, unless Vadzimir finds another chance to attack the field somewhere and connect with the remaining twin caps, but doesn't look like it'll work with the horse in hand. And the other question would be whether this here was necessary. But at -9 points, it looks like there was no other option to bridge the gap on the virtual scoreboard than going for this field equalization. And will Karaboudjan draw the curve or not? He doesn't get the curve, and Vadzimir will win the first game here. And due to horse and twin caps still in the deck, it wasn't even a 50-50 shot, as Karaboudjan had chances to get both to close the city. Yeah, doesn't matter what he did with it, it's game over anyway. And yep, doesn't look like a happy camper there. Okay, 5-minute break. Well, he got the straight, which was worth 15 points, so not bad. Of course, tad annoying that yellow got this one, but then we have 5 minutes, so let's go back to the straight with which he went for the city block on the left side. He could have protected the field as well with a straight, so taking away the ninja options. So with this straight, for example, yeah, I talked about this versus going for any block over here. Still, I don't perceive this one to be a threat. Even if blue were to close this, it would score at 3, so 10 points. If closed, it's +7 with a 6 points field. Well, but 2 caps, which could also land on blue's field for the same 7 points. So I don't think you really take away anything if you go for the city. Therefore, again, I would have preferred this one. The other option would have been this here to prevent what blue did in the end. But when there's only one crossroad left, plus 2 curves, it's rather unlikely to work out anyway, because blue needed to draw, first of all, see this possibility and then get the crossroad and the curve afterwards. And the likelihood of all this happening isn't really that great, but the prime chance for them were these options, and I still am not a fan of not trying to harass these squares earlier. And what else did yellow need in the end? Okay, triple city tile plus 2 caps, yeah, but even if you get one, blue might just add some problem over here. More or less anything would work there to limit these two options. The worst one for blue might have been this, as they would use a road piece to connect to the main field, of course. Hey, Juan. So anything else? Yeah, he did get another connection piece for his opponent. I think this landed over here. Again, I would have preferred this move, as I don't think the 1 point does do anything. Does anything for your winning probability, and therefore all out, all in rather, hoping to draw one of the triple city tiles and another cap is definitely one option here, and it's more likely to be successful if you close the city on the left side first. Okay, he even used this one up top to then go for the block. So the shoddy straights get dumped on the left side to take care of this not really threatening city. But the juicy city cap, which you need to close your city, gets used to block over here. Again, I think that's the wrong priority. Yeah, and everything else we saw. So at this point, it was straight up a 50-50. 4 tiles left, 1 curve, both 2 moves, and chances for yellow to draw these 2 tiles. By the way, not in any order, because the straight would block immediately either this square or this square. So the only permutation that still would have closed this city for yellow would have been, well, not the only one. There were 2. So this here, blue getting the curve, and then yellow getting, oh, sorry, I missed. This is a horse and not a cow. Then the straight would only block over here, of course. Then there were even more chances. So let's say, how many should this be? I think at least 4 out of 24. But still the likelihood of blue connecting up top was greater. So still on break. Then let's figure out what was the difference in the end. 19 points. It's a horse with a shield. added to yellow city here, they would have scored, instead of the 12 points they have there, 14, 15, 16, 32. So plus 20 minus, no, not minus 3, as this field is shared in the end. So plus 20 for yellow, minus everything they scored with their last two moves, which were 4 points. So plus 16, still not enough to win this game. Yep. So here we go. Vadzimir took the cap. Yellow limited the city to city plus road pieces. One straight by Vadzimir, another by Karaboudjan. Cow dropped there. And here we go. Nice option to harass this square. Yeah, at least you get the road end. Okay, looks like the stream is delayed again by something. Let's check. Okay, should be 4 seconds. Which isn't really a big problem. Then you are a slow typer, Juan. So city closed, road closed, next one started, got away over here, could have been easily limited to a dagger. Didn't work out for blue. They quite likely will take the road over here. Something like this could work, creating a platform to attack or harass this city and take the road. Instead, they just go for 2 points on the left side. Yeah. Doesn't look ideal, but it's rather safe. I just wanted to say all 3 daggers for this position are still in a deck, but, well, if you get a horse there, you could use it, but I'm not a fan. I mean, sure, you extend your city, but now you need more tiles than before. I think waiting for the Rito, maybe even the dagger, although the Dorito would be the preferred option, might have been the better choice here. Even if blue does something from the top. Again, still 3 daggers left, so I might have just got for 2 points. Got for 2 points. Man. What's oof? This here? Yeah, it can still be closed with 3 pieces, but it's more problematic than before due to this square here and blue's obstructions. You have to be more precise if you're talking about 3 lucky tiles. Not sure which tiles you think were lucky. I hate wasted monasteries. I mean, both of them. Why not? Why not add a meeple there? What's the problem? There are still 5 daggers out there, so unlikely this gets killed, and especially as yellow, if you're yellow, I mean, yeah, you might lose 2 meeples there against 1, but then you would win a 13-1 mini battle for 1 lost meeple, so that's 12 points for 1 meeple. What's the big deal? So, over here, there's the match between blue hoping to draw one of 3 twin caps to split these cities, and of course, yellow hoping to draw one of the 2 remaining extenders to unite them. The problem for yellow is there are still 2 options to attack this one, so even the extender is only 1 step towards closing this. Blue goes for the kill here and might execute this while wasting another monastery. Meanwhile, yellow restricted blue city to the 2 remaining left-handed daggers. So will Vadzimir close the city, hoping to draw twin caps, or does he go for an attack? He takes the safe approach, which I like actually. So even if yellow gets the extender, it doesn't really help them. I mean, there's still a splitter left, sure, but it's way more likely for blue to invade this one, and this one here gets killed in the meantime, as blue decided the priority should be the city and not giving himself the chance to draw one of 2 daggers on the left. Yeah, so blue connects, yellow should connect, as it's looking rather unlikely that this one will be closed. Also, this road meeple here, rather advanced stuff, should work in many cases, but with 2 roses gone and your city possibly needing a dagger when this was placed, I think the restriction wasn't there. Limitation of this road square to the same piece you need somewhere else was quite likely, but it works out. At least I guess okay. I would have thought getting this meeple back might be a good idea now. Instead, blue goes for connection over here, which should be immediately thwarted by yellow like this. This here would also work and might be the better option. There's only 1 road Dorito left, so there's no way for blue to connect here. Although with only 1 starting tile left, I would prefer this one. Then you could go here, especially this here. It's way better, of course. All horses are gone, so this would immediately kill blue city. mean, all three are in the big city, so this should be rather easy for yellow to find this out and find the better move of these two here. Yeah. This one should be the one to take. And they find it. And if they get a city piece with a field side to the left over here and are able, or were able, I should say, to kill this, then they would get a meeple majority. And in a close game like this, should have a big advantage afterwards, especially with blue's road meeple still stuck on the monastery square there. So I wouldn't do anything more about this here. The situation is pretty clear as of now. You need to draw something over here, and then this here is limited enough. Of course, you could add this one there, but I don't see why. I quite likely would go and take the field somewhere. I mean, it's a 6-point field already. There are still 3 vanillas left. Else going after this poor road meeple would have also been considered. Well, there's still one monastery to come. But again, I mean, it's ideal to put pressure on your opponent's feature while also taking a monastery, and neither one did. And now both have meeples in hand. I mean, yeah. Now blue takes the field, which yellow didn't. But yellow at least kills blue city on the right side, and unless blue absolutely hammers home this field without a yellow farmer in the end, I don't see how they should win this one here. For now, just take the points. I'd go over here. This takes away this option. This here allows the unblockable field connection for yellow. Blue doesn't take this away. I don't know why. I mean, yeah, sure, the daggers that would fit here you might need to use for your road meeple, but still okay. Interesting choice. Blue finally liberates the road meeple, also gets another 2 points. But yellow draws the lucky dagger to score 8 as compensation. This, I think, ill-advised road meeple. I mean, why not take the field? instead of a 3-point road. Gets hammered again. So first one cow gets out of the problems, and the next cow looks like 2 points up top and a field attack later on. Yep, and that's what you get for adding this vanilla here instead of there. You can't score with the dagger in hand, which would have been very nice over here. This extender, by the way, is also still alive. If one of them gets the starting tile, might as well take this, as long as there are still multiple caps for the bottom side left in the deck. This dagger is the penultimate tile to add to yellow's road. So now there's only the starting tile left, and again, with this extender option still there, I'm not sure it's likely they'd use the starting tile there. So in the end, blue just adds the cap there. And should yellow not take this, not take this, not take this, but attack the field now? They don't. Well, the monastery would be a nice option as well. The problem is blue taking this and almost killing this option. And yellow would have connected immediately. Now it's rather unlikely to be successful this way, and over here it's only a 50-50. There are ways to create options here, maybe even there. There is also still a crossroad left, so a ninja in this area is still possible, but you need to invest 3 pieces. And there are many options for blue to block this. Yeah, well, I might just go for this. It kills this here. It gives you at least this field. There is another option as well. And you have the 50-50 to connect to blue's field. And if you tie this field, you win this game. Yellow doesn't go for this. Instead, tries to pad their field at the bottom. Blue will score another 7-pointer. This doesn't do much and could have also been used to attack the field. with only one blocking piece in the deck, but of course only one connection piece as well. But if you go for this here, where you need the same curve anyway, looks to me like yellow wasted their best chances and might not get another one. So this is the last chance to attack the field. And at -10, they have to go for it. They have to hope for the 1 in 6 chance. So blue drawing the starting tile, yellow getting the curve. To add 17 points for yellow's squad. And it doesn't work out. Well, as expected, it's a 5 and 6 for blue here, and they get it. And in the end, yellow might complain about blue getting a lot of caps in the end, but you had the chance. It would have worked. You didn't go for it. And then sometimes you just lose. That's the nature of this game. So way too easy for blue here. This field, again, 3-point road when there is a 6-point field, which had a lot of green squares. So just add this farmer here, and all these caps could have ended on your field. And if you don't, then you have to attack it sometime. And this was just too late. Yeah, 2 very disappointing games indeed. But really, especially the second one, I think was a rather unnecessary loss. After this block here, chances for yellow to win this one were great. So let's check again. I hope I'm not talking too much shit here. Okay. Was it 90? Okay, this is the situation. See if the score is correct. Yeah, so I don't see the reason to take this one. This here looks like a 9-point field, and there are all these green squares. And basically, there are not a lot of big city tiles out there, so no completed, complicated city structures to create over here to then be able to attack the field. So whoever is first on the field is the favorite to win it in the end. And of course, this option was still available, but I mean, why not just add the curve over here, for example? Then blue would need to attack from there. And you could block this, for example, to a road monastery, possibly. Yeah, so this here, as inconspicuous as it looks, as normal as it looks, as, I don't know, maybe even greedy as it looks, I think was the biggest mistake by yellow in this game. Sure, it takes away this road when there are still 4 road ends left. Okay. Now that we are in analysis mode, should increase the tiles. But yeah, I'm still positive taking this field at exactly at this point in time would have been the right move. And by the way, as blue, I would have taken this one as well with the cow. Still 4 tiles to get this one back. Still hope to get this one out of the bind on the right side. Same goes for this year. Could have even not placed it over here. That wouldn't be great, but this blue won the game. Even if yellow still had good chances later on. Again, in my book, that's a mistake. As long as there are pieces who score this cap which don't fit here. Also, this here would have taken away the best attacking option. So yeah, not ideal. What did yellow do with this cap? They took this one at the bottom, which worked out for yellow quite nicely. Hey, Satsuki Mori. The game is listed in the bottom left. And if you're not sure what game this is, it's Carcassonne, which is in the title of the stream. If you have any more questions, just ask. I'm still live. I may as well answer some questions. Yeah, so this year, again, there are 5 caps left. 5 out of 9 tiles. Something is wrong here? No, vadzimir has already a tile in hand. Okay, 5 out of 10, sorry. So it's very likely you get to liberate your meeple at the bottom later. And there aren't that many tiles to still have a great chance to attack this field. And therefore, this here is the next missed chance by yellow. In this position, you have the one unblockable connection with the remaining vanilla, plus splitter and Dorito over here. Splitter with the added benefit of scoring additional 4 points. Sure, there are still other options to attack this field. But in the end, field moves might just be wasted in the end for blue here. If blue were to attack the field again on a 50-50, maybe 1 in 3, 1 in 4 chance or something like that, all this could very well end up in yellow winning this one. And even if blue were successful, you might have more meeples after getting your city meeple back to just outscore the field even. If blue doesn't draw all the caps, which they almost did. So, but yellow liberated this one. Yeah, I'm not even sure the farmer is ideal there, as it was rather unlikely to connect and score the 6 for this field, but with the splitter in the deck, which they used later on, it's justified for sure, but also indicates they just hope to outdraw their opponent, which, as we've seen, didn't happen. So now comes the splitter, and yellow would have united the fields. But they didn't. And after this move here, chances were really low. Yeah, why not go for it now? Especially when there's still the starting tile left, which you even could use to go for a double farmer attack. For a 50-50, sure, but a win in that case. Yeah, okay. Whereas this year accomplishes something, sure. If you get the curve, you score 7 points, but is this enough? It might be. I mean, yellow only needed city caps here. Did they do with the monster? Ah, yeah, attack the field, of course. Well, now, was the field attack really their best option? Not really, right? I mean, why not just take the 6 points and hope to draw one of the caps? Would this have worked? Yellow takes Monstry for 6 and would be down -4. One of the caps would be +3. Yeah, but the other cap would be 5 points for blue. And then it's just game over, or 5 points with the curve on the right side as well. So yeah, yellow had to go for this. And again, their only chance was blue drawing this here for 1 and 3. And yellow to connect for 1 and 2, so a 1 in 6 chance. Okay, then that's it for now. Let's take a look at upcoming matches. There is only one scheduled for later today, which is Snow Island Daniel Ayala. This should be a lower semi-final as well. Let's quickly check. Where's Jay? Jay is over here. Yeah, it's the lower semi-finals of Group C. And I'm not sure if Alexi will cover this or Otto. If not, well, the time is okay for me. I might. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. Quite likely I'll stream the first one. This is a time slot that usually works good for me. Works good, yeah, works well. And I might cover one of these concurrently running matches tomorrow as well, and definitely later Jose versus Tomaszek. There might other matches still to be scheduled, and they might end up somewhere here, and then we'll see. So thanks for tuning in. If you want to support me, have a look in the description and do something that's listed there. I would hope to get more co-hosts on here. I have a few which from time to time occur here, of course, but I would still love more. So if you by any chance would be interested in co-hosting, please contact me. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.